Alrighty, guys. Today's topic is, I don't know how I'm going to phrase this topic, but it's the art of the line, as in lining up for things, right? So yesterday, got a fresh cut from the shopping centre barber. Since we've moved to where we've moved to the Sunny Coast hinterland, we're no longer in basically inner city Brisbane. So I'm kind of going to the local shopping centre, I think Morayfield, wherever it was, to go get a haircut. Anyway, one of those, I think it was Top G Barber. I don't know if that's a franchise or not, but side note, did a great job, happy with it. $37 for a haircut. I remember paying $25 or even $12 when I was younger, but side note, I digress again. Anyway, what happened yesterday was, I was always taught from my grandfather or my father, or whoever it was, when you go into a barber shop, if there's one barber or two barbers and there's 10 people waiting or whatever it is, you take a quick snapshot and you kind of understand how long it's going to be and where you are in the order, if that makes sense. If there's three guys, you walk in, you're going to be the fourth guy. Now, this young kid, I don't know, to be honest, he could have been 16 or 17 or he could have been 23 years old. He walked in, headphones on, looking at his phone. He sat down, and one of the barbers he walked past, he tapped him on the back and tried to give him a fist pump, but the barber was holding scissors and a shaver, and he goes, pointed to him, sit down. So obviously he was establishing he knew the guy. Fair enough. Anyway, fast forward about 20 minutes, my turn's up. Sorry, the guy in front of me's up, and sorry to confuse you. And anyway, as he turns around and looks at me, and I've gone, no, that guy's up. And so the guy goes to him, no, he's waiting for that barber. Confusing, I know. And he looks to me. And so I start walking over. And then this kid takes out his earphones, puts his phone down, and goes and sits in the chair. And the barber and I look at each other and he's like, oh. And he goes, and I looked and I was like, yeah. And he says to the guy, he goes, oh, this bloke was here first. He goes, and he looks at him and he goes, can you just quickly straighten me up? And he goes, no, after him. So the guy this kid gets up, kind of acting cool, but you could tell he was pissed off. And so I sat down in the chair. I had this brief moment in my mind. I was like, no, let him have the haircut. I'm like, no, fuck that. I've been waiting a half an hour. If he was sitting there attentively without his phone, watching, fair enough. I don't think he would have made the mistake because he would have known that I was before him. But anyway, he sits back down. I'll get my hair cut. And then as soon as I get out of the chair, the guy barely even fucking gets the thing off me. And like that, this guy's already sitting down. And the barber says, I'll just get up, I'll blow the hair off. And so he blows him off. He walks over to the cash register where I'm waiting. We look at each other and we kind of smile. And it's just one of those moments where you just smile. Well, you both know what you're thinking, but you're not going to say because there's everybody else around. So my point to this story is like, what happened? Like, people say the Japanese, how to line up, right? The Japanese love a line, right? Whenever you get on a cruise ship and there's a lot of Japanese, they love to line up around the buffet, right? But then you look at other kids, other cultures, white, brown, pink, yellow, whatever. Every culture has a subgroup that just don't like to follow the rules or the unofficial morals of society. And it just made me laugh, thinking to myself, like, this kid, he was stupid or he knew what he was doing. And I think the latter. He knew what he was doing. And, sometimes I respect that because you don't, like my wife says, you don't get what you want unless you go and get what you want. And we laugh about that, like, meaning like, well, more power to the kid. If he can do it with his head held high and walk out and not care, fair enough. But it's just like, what's happened in the world right now? Like, it's like people just want to get theirs and be done. You know what I mean? And I don't know, am I the only one that I'm not really overanalyzing. I just thought it'd be a good video for the YouTube channel for my one video a day for 2 months kind of challenge. But like, as I'm sitting there getting my hair cut, I was just stewing in my mind going like, he walked in, he saw us all there. There was three people there, a guy in front, two guys in front of me and then me. So three guys. So he knew. And I was just like, you sly little prick. But anyway, I got in, got out, and it just kind of made me wonder, like, coming home, like, I've probably experienced that before, maybe just didn't even care, but now it seems to annoy me more now, maybe because I'm in my early 40s and I'm just like, I've waited around in lines, my whole life because that's what you do. And now these kids here, not even doing their apprenticeship, so to speak, in life, and they're just getting what theirs is. So comment below, like, let me know one of your experiences before. Am I just fucking reading too much into it? I don't know. Anyway, but have a good, what's today? Have a good Thursday. I will see you tomorrow for another video on something.